might go. All right, Sean Wadsworth calling the May Planning Board meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Present we have.
Amalia Torres, alternate.
Yeah.
Morris West Vice Chair.
Jim Druin, Select Board Rep.
Thank you. So I'm going to appoint Amalia as a voting member for this meeting. And we can go to minutes of April, whatever it was. Does everyone have a chance to review? It was April 13th.
I have not.
Amalia, you weren't here, but it was Morris, Smith, and Jim. And
It was just the three of us,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So it was pretty, that's the minutes. If you want to review it, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 sentences.
Exactly.
I think we called the order and adjourned, right?
It's more or less.
Yeah, sounds good, so, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as drafted.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? None, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you. Unanimous. Alright. We do have new business. Really exciting. So we have an application for subdivision. It's a minor subdivision from Jeffrey Frechette on High Street. It's represented by Omnistic Survey and Andy Fisher. So I got the application with the stuff, so we can go through it. And the thing for right now is just to read through the application and see if the application's complete. And then we can have a vote on whether to accept or reject the application as complete. Has nothing to do with the contents
Of the plan itself.
of this, yeah, whether it's a 2-lot subdivision or a 2,000 lot subdivision, that doesn't matter. All that matters is that all the things on the checklist are present, so.
And do you have the checklist?
I do, it's here with it, so.
good.
I've already reviewed it, and I didn't find anything missing, but the checklist is here, so minor subdivision checklist, and it's a couple pages of things. And then there's a fee schedule. So this is our fee schedule for different, so this has, for minor subdivision, that's on here. Also a site plan review, major subdivision, a few other things, boundary line adjustments. And so the applicant fills out the fee schedule based on what they're doing and then writes a check for that amount. And so that's that. So it's kind of going through the fee schedule, making sure they paid the appropriate fees, going through the checklist, making sure everything's in the checklist. The checklist mostly boils down to, did they sign things? Did they pay the money and the fees? And then did they present a plan? Which they did, and the plan has to have certain things on it, and we can go through that. And then the last thing is, any of these types of things require a public hearing eventually. So we have to, if we accept this as approved, next month we would have a public hearing. To do a public hearing, you have to notify all the abutters. And so they're required to send in a list of the abutters with their labels in triplicate so that we can do the certified mailings to the abutters in the specified time, which is 10 days before the meeting, at least minimum of 10 days before the meeting. So I don't know if y'all want to congregate around and go through this, maybe kind of where Morris is sitting. I don't know, Amalia, if you can come over.
We can go by you if you
No,
want.
let's go, there's more. Bring
I
it.
can move over.
Yeah.
Look.
I'll stand because of keeping it
Why
away.
you have
Keep you awake.
I drove a lot today.
Alright, so, here's their check for their fees, and then there's the second check. This is for LCHIP, which is the Land and Community Heritage Investment Protection. It's basically anytime you go to have something recorded at Carroll County Registry of Deeds, there's a $25 fee that goes to LCHIP. LCHIP ends up, it's a state-run fund that ends up getting used for conservation and historical heritage projects. So, like that, Town of Albany Chapel could probably qualify if someone went through the application for it and all to get LCHIP money. But anyways, here's the two checks. Here's the thing, right? So they didn't check here, but we know what it is. It's a minor subdivision, so they should have put X there. The applicant, the location, total acreage, map and lot number, name and description, so it's a 2-lot subdivision, land of Jeffrey Frechette, being represented by Andy Fisher of Amonusic Survey, signed by Jeffrey Frechette, date and phone number. So that's good. On the back is our instructions for application for subdivision approval. So, in consideration, the applicant agrees to carry out the improvements, provide any street signs approved, that's not going to be applicable in this case, give the town on demand any proper deeds, rights of way reserved on the plat for street drainage or other purposes, that all should be in the plan. Save the town harmless from any obligation, blah, blah, blah. And the applicant is to make no changes whatsoever to the final plat once it's approved. Obtain and abide by all state permits. The applicant has to have this application in at least 21 days before we would schedule a public hearing. We only have to notify 10 days. So does that make sense? So the applicant has to get it in 21 days before the next meeting. Or really the secretary, has to get that work done and get it posted for a public hearing, no less than 10 days before the meeting is to be held. So,
When you send the notification to the adulterers,
Yep.
yeah, you send this paperwork or you just invited them for?
no, it's just a short one-page letter saying,
So
this
they-
address, this map and lot number,
that's
it's a
it.
2-lot subdivision,
Okay.
and then the public hearing will be held on this date in this place, which is next month, right here. And that's it. It's short and sweet, but it's just who, what, when, where, not the how.
Next month, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. They didn't date and sign this, but I can get that from Andy. So I know Andy Fisher is the representative. I can get him to sign and date this. And then here is what we're actually doing tonight for planning board use only. Date reviewed by, date accepted as complete by, so that's just the application, is it complete? And then if it were a major subdivision, it could go to the Conservation Commission as well. So that's that page. Oh, they did. They just printed it out. That's the
okay,
2-sided.
okay, good,
They did do
okay.
it. Okay, it is all here.
Mhm.
So when we vote on it tonight, we'll fill out, or I will fill out this, check this with the date and, all right, here's the application fees. So preliminary consultation, we're not doing that, so that's just left blank. Major and minor subdivision, we're doing that. We're not doing boundary line, we're doing subdivision line 2. So it's $100 per lot and $50 for each new lot. So they did the 100 and $50 for the new lot. L-Chip, they wrote the check, but they just forgot to put the $25 here. I already talked with Andy about that. Public notices, so this is the cost of mailing, there's a cost to mailing, right? So the cost goes to the applicant, the town doesn't pay for it. And so this is our rate. To put an ad in the paper, it's $40, plus for each abutter that you're gonna mail to, another $7 for certified mail. So that's $40, they have 10 abutters, so $70. We're not doing site plan review, so that's all left blank. Recording fee, $30. And other costs, if there are any, there aren't any now, nor is it likely to be. Not doing voluntary merger, so then just a total, and I did the math and it's correct, so that all checks out. This is their list of the abutters. And this is the sticky labels. So you can see there's triplicate, 3 for Shet, 3 for Omnistic Survey, 3 for this person, 3 for that person. And when you do the mailings, you end up using all 3 of those. So they just print 3 so that the work is done on their end, and whatever amount of work they have to do on our end is minimized. So that's that. And this is the actual checklist, and we'll get a plan out and start looking at it. Can I grab Jared? Good standing? Yeah. All right, so completed subdivision application, that's all that stuff, yes. 5 copies of this, yes. Notification list of names and addresses, plus 4 sets of pre-address labels for, it says 4, but 3 is sufficient. Here's who they have to provide labels for: abutters, applicant, the owner, and the surveyor. So they did that, so that's check, check, check.
Do you wanna put it on top of it?
Here, just look at it. The agent designated on the application, that's on Manusic. All holders of conservation, preservation, agricultural preservation restrictions. So anyone that might have an easement on this land would need to be notified as well. Number 4 is filing fees, they did that. State or town driveway permit, they wrote pending, so they've got an application in process, so that's acceptable. Copy of New Hampshire subdivision approval. This is what a copy of the New Hampshire subdivision approval looks like, so you apply to the state, you say, I want to do a subdivision. I don't quite know what the state's criteria is, but they either approve or deny. So they approved. So that can go over there. Copies of any restrictive covenants or deed restrictions. Again, it's on them to present it to us, and reading through the plan notes, I didn't see any, so they didn't find any in their research. And again, that's all on Andy Fisher with his surveyor stamp to say, I stand by this work. Okay. All applicable federal, state, and town approvals. So we have all that, they got the state approval, and town is what this is, with these pending ones for driveway permit. Plat requirements, no, they didn't check it. A vicinity map, that's this, so your general zoomed out view of where you are. So I don't know if everyone's familiar, but going past the Conway Road, past the Conway?
That's Conway.
Yeah, there's an extra
That's a Conway, yeah.
Come on. Up High Street and on the left. So that's the subject parcel, and then this is it zoomed out, so you see that shape, right? The title block, that's right here, showing the name of the minor subdivision, the location, owner's name and address. Applicant's subdivider's name and address, if different. The preparer's name, that's on here, on music. This whole thing is the title block. This is where most of this is gonna show up. Date of preparation and revisions. So if there's revisions, they would go here. Date of preparation is gonna be the date. There, yep. No revisions yet. And approval block, that's probably what that is, an empty space for us to sign. Or no, did they have one specifically? Sometimes they put one specifically, like, planning, it'll say planning board. This is for the registry of deeds, so when it goes to the deeds, they put a stamp there, and they reserve that upper right-hand corner. So this is sufficient, there's a space for the approval block for the planning board. Tax map and parcel number, there. Identification of abutting properties. So that's each of these going around, it'll say, this is NF, now or formerly of Monroe, Jeffrey and Michelle. So Jeffrey and Michelle Monroe, now or formerly own it. Map 10, lot 1, the address, it's recorded in Carroll County Registry of Deeds at this book and page, and it's parcel 2, plan reference 1. Plan reference 1, you look here at plan notes, and that would be plan 1. Subject parcel lies within the residential zoning district. Okay. So each of the abutters should have this same content of information. And is that a abutter?
Yeah, Forest Service.
That's a pin, right?
Yeah.
That's Forest Service. And then this is the subject lot.
And this is National Forest on this end as well?
Yeah, so there's no, you see how there's a little, like this is a boundary between here and this one? It must be here.
And this is what, 2 lots for 2 parcels in one?
Right here?
Yeah, there's one road, Jeffrey, and, yeah. Because you say
It is.
parcel 2, if it is a parcel 2, it have to be parcel 1, right?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Lot 1, plan reference 2.
They may have another parcel somewhere. Yeah, that doesn't really have anything
Oh,
to do with
plan
it.
reference. I was reading plan notes. So what is that? If you read that, this plan reference should describe what's happening here.
Oh, okay.
So, can you read it, Jim?
Boundary plan of land in Albany prepared by Beverly Sullivan by APB Engineers, recorded March 3, 1992. Proposed 2-lot subdivision, property of Grace E. Baker and Thaddeus Stone surveys, recorded 1/8/07. And number 3 is plan of land. So has that got a number on it? Reference 1? So it's just that one reference? So that was a
And this is
reference.
reference 2.
Yeah. Proposed 2-lot subdivision, property of Grace Baker and Thaddeus Stone surveys, recorded, yeah. And then reference 3.
Yeah, reference 3 will be somewhere will be saying something saying, see reference 3. But
There is a tree, number 3 here, plan of land in Albany, New Hampshire, plan shows the, what? Donation sheet of land for recorded July 28, 1981, CCRD,
Yeah, that's it.
PV 54, P 75. Is that?
Yeah, I don't see where the reference three is called out.
This is another.
That's lot three, but not
Yeah.
reference three.
Yeah.
But maybe that's it, and it's a typo.
54, but this is not even 54, this has a different number.
What's the 54?
Here it say PV 54,
Plan
and then
book
P,
54.
yeah. Neither do I. But I am not an expert in reading this kind of map.
Yeah, I'm learning myself.
Yeah, you would think it'd be on there somewhere, but
Well, we can ask about plan reference three. But that's the general concept of how the abutters are laid out.
Do you think these would be different reference numbers, lot 1 and 2?
Yeah, it could be a typo. So I'll email Andy and ask him about plan reference three, and it could well be that that's a typo. Could well be that that's correct, I don't know.
But this is lot 1, number 2, this is lot 2, number 2. Then maybe,
All right, so what does number two say? It might be, like, both of these things may refer to.
reference 2 says proposed two-lot subdivision, property of Gracie Baker and Thaddeus Stone Surveys, Inc., recorded January 8, 07, Plan Book 217, page.
Yeah, so that's probably correct, right? Because this is a subdivision line
Right.
with a thing set by Thorn,
Yeah.
and a thing set by Thorn there. Another Thorn. Plan reference one was Thorn as well. It was part of that.
Plan reference 1 is boundary plan of land in Albany, New Hampshire, prepared for Beverly Sullivan by APB Engineers, recorded March 3.
So, yeah. So I'll email Andy and ask him for that one. Where's plan reference three? Oh, here is the place for the planning board to sign. There, right? So, plat is hereby approved by planning board, meeting held on, the date, filed at the registry of deeds on a date, the date it's done, signed by the chair and the secretary, so I get to sign twice. As far as easements and stuff, so like there is a utilities are an easement, that's why utilities are shown, we have an easement. There's the right of way of the street, so 50 feet from center line, presumably. And then here's a right of way. Right of way of unspecified width, so this existing driveway is a right of way. This existing driveway is not a right of way, it's just a driveway on the subject
Put that
parcel.
current lot.
Name and address of the land surveyor, that's all on the Newsick address. Graphic scale, not less than 1 inch equals 40 feet. 1 inch equals 80 feet. sufficient. Less than, which way do you read that? I guess less than would be like 1 inch equals 30.
Right.
Meets the
So then,
criteria.
yeah.
Symbol legend. Symbol legend. North reference. Location of zoning district boundaries, including wetlands and floodplains. So it's right in plan notes that the subject parcel is in the residential zone. And it's not showing wetlands. And it's definitely not in the floodplain. So maybe high and dry land. High and dry land on High Street. Topo map at 5-foot intervals, that's these lines, and I think, oh, they do it in 5 foot. So your intervals, 5-foot intervals.
Yeah, here you see.
One benchmark tied into a previously established benchmark, so that's any of the property corners previously established, like where you know the thorns were set and recorded before this, and this plan ties into that, so. There's a US Forest Service bound up here that they have found. Another Forest Service bound, so they are tied into previously established benchmarks. Survey of property lines showing total acreage of each lot with bearings and distances. So this will show that in here the acreage, yep, in square feet and acres. And it'll show the new one, this area to be carved out in square feet and acres. Boundary lines and setbacks of each one. So this is the boundary line in black, and the setback is the red dash. That's the 25-foot building setback. The circle is the 75-foot well setback, so your septic system has to be at least 75 feet from the center of the water. And then same thing on the subject portion. Setback lines. Location of permanent markers, that's all the pins and the boundaries that have been found. Street rights of way and existing street names. There it is, High Street. Proposed new lot lines. Area of each lot in acres and square feet, so you got that. Oh, yeah, and with bearings and distances, so from point to point on the boundary, it should show bearings and distance for each one. And it does there, it does there, it does there.
This is the new lot?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, so the original lot is the whole thing,
So,
and
yeah.
then make that its own individual lot.
Okay.
That would become, because this is lot 19,
Mhm.
so they're proposing that the new lot be called 19.1, so that's the proposal. And we can accept it or reject it or change it, but that's pretty common to just put a decimal.
And this has the 2 acres or does it have?
2.65.
Ah,
Yep, 2 acres is our minimum, yep, so they met the minimum.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Location of all existing proposed deed restrictions and covenants, so they found this right of way. And then, you know, we can read through all the plan notes as well. Let's maybe do that at the end, but if there were deed restrictions, they would be listed in here. Location of water courses, standing water and fire ponds, none. Location of natural features, ledges, ponds, monuments, stone walls. Let's look there, are we? this is different soils, this green dash line going through here, so there's a type of soil up here and a different type of soil down here. Yep. And these are all soil codes that, I don't know, are they listed? Test bit. Test bits list the soil codes, but these are standardized soil codes that you can look up in the soils table, find out what those soil types are.
And where do you find the soil tables? Remember that I am ignorant.
Yeah, I would have to search
Oh, okay.
What we look for,
They, where?
what
where-
these codes
Yeah.
represent.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you give me one code that is completely new to me, and I feel like I need to search and see what I'm talking about, yeah.
right,
Yeah, I mean, it's, I had never done this kind of thing in my life, you know, I put it right from the very, very beginning, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so the surveyor is pulling this data
Yeah.
from an existing database
Mhm.
that has it all mapped out for the whole state,
Mhm.
what the soils are and where the soil vendors are.
Mhm.
And
but as far as our planning goes, there's nothing that has to do with soil codes, it's just, it's there, but it's irrelevant to us.
Mhm.
It's, yeah, I mean, we really are going on what the surveyor is presenting,
Right.
because we're not going out and double checking them,
Yeah.
cross-checking them, unless we really suspected something was wrong, and then we could
Yeah,
ask for like a second opinion, a second surveyor, or other thing. We could require of the applicant to do other things if we don't believe it's up to standard. I have no reason to doubt that this is up to standard.
right, yeah,
It's pretty simple, it's
Yep.
pretty straightforward. But the planning board does have the authority to require the applicant to pay for the planning board to get more information
Right.
given to them.
Mhm.
Not that, we don't have to go out and get it, we just say, we're not gonna approve it until you provide this
right.
more information for us at your cost. And then that's pretty much it for this application at this point. When we go to approve, we require 7 copies. It's actually excessive, it should be revised. 3. And, oh yeah, so here we go. The following may be required by the planning board before approval is granted. Engineer review at their cost. Other engineering studies at their cost. Fill and dredge permit. Major alteration permit. None of that's, major alteration is when you're moving a lot of soil for some reason. There's no soil being moved here, we're just gonna set a boundary fence. That's it. And then if they're gonna build on it later, that's something to happen later, but that has nothing to do with this getting subdivided right now. Soil scientist approval could be required at their cost. I don't see any reason for it. Erosion and sediment control plan could be required at their cost, but no need here. Construction bonding, there is no construction. Phased construction plan. This is, again, like if you're doing a major subdivision or someone's doing a major project, it's gonna have a lot of things.
Like 3 lots or 6 lots.
Yeah, and they're gonna be developing and moving a lot of earth and maybe impacting wetlands.
30 lots on the side of a mountain or something like
Yeah,
that would be.
yeah,
Okay.
big development. Environmental impact statements, traffic impact analysis, tree protection and removal plan. So none of these apply here, but these are all things that, and then also like other, right? If there's other things that aren't listed here, the town can still require them before approval, or the planning board. So that is it. I don't know. Oh, here's soil types. Here are the soil types.
Oh,
806C, 806C. 806 is a Canaan, redstone, gravelly, fine, sandy loam. So that's here.
mhm.
The 298. I don't see 298, but ABC, Monadnock Berkshire Complex. 806C was Canaan, 701 was Beckett Scary Association. So they forgot that one, I'm not worried about it. So, and this is all soil scientist stuff, so if there was some development here and we were really concerned about it and we thought things weren't adding up, we could say, we want a soil scientist to review it. It does have a stamp here for the design of the septic system by Bob Tafuto. That's this. This is where they did the test pit. So they actually go out and dig in the soil, and then someone goes down and looks very closely at what the different soil types are. Same thing, they did the test pit here.
When we're going to build this house, does the town require this map that this is the well and this is the septic tank?
Yeah, they have to be located.
Yeah.
Your well has to be located, and the septic has to be at least 75 feet from it.
But there is a map in here, you know, when they...
It's on their building plan, when they do a building permit, correct me if I'm wrong,
I've never actually seen one.
when they do a building permit, the sketch should have the location of it, the distance and all that.
Okay. You mean that map is here in our...
No, it's just something that the owner, when they submit a building permit, they would have a sketch drawn up to submit with that permit.
I ask because, I mean, I bought the house, I never checked the septic tank, and last year I tried to go one by, that was recommended to me, and, you know, he came, and we pinch it, yeah, and then he
To
said...
find where the cover is.
Couldn't find it. Anyway, long story short, I knew that there is one thing that I put it in the toilet, and goes and be detected by a sensor or whatever it is, but he didn't want to do that, you know, and things like that. But anyway, you know, this is one of the checks that I have to check mark for my house. Yeah.
Yeah, so it may be on fire, possibly.
Now that I'm knowing here.
Yeah, it should be on file with the county.
Oh, the county?
Yeah, because you had to have a septic permit.
Oh, yeah, and they have to.
And the septic permit
Yeah.
shows where the septic is in relation to the well.
Yeah.
And that's recorded with the county.
Yeah.
Can't always get it. Kyle, my son, when he bought my mom's house, of course, I didn't remember where the septic was. They changed it after I had left on a Sunday afternoon or something, you know. And, luckily, the neighbor across the street was involved in helping do it. So we asked him if he knew where it was, and Kyle came home one day, it was all dug up, and there it was, so he got lucky.
Yeah.
He got lucky,
He got
yeah.
lucky.
Yeah, because my two neighbors are, well, the one on the right is new, he built the house right now, before he doesn't know, and the other one in the left bought that house after I got mine.
Right.
Yeah, then he doesn't have idea. Yeah.
So, that's it, right?
That's it?
I'll make a motion to accept the application as presented.
Yep. Second. Great. Get untangled and type it up. discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. All right. So, sometime between now and at least 10 days before our next meeting, secretary will send out the mailings and the notifications for a public hearing for 2-lot subdivisions. So that will be on the agenda for next month. And at that point, Andy Fisher of Amanuset will come, and if we have any other questions about the plan or anything, he'll be here to answer them and present it. Make sure.
21 days prior is what? Yes, do what?
They have to get this application to us at least 21 days before we're gonna have a public hearing.
Which they already have done. Is that
Yeah,
the deal?
so they only got this like 2 weeks ago. This came in. So
It wasn't. Nothing.
even though it was 10 days before,
Right,
it wasn't 21 days, so we were not then required to have the public hearing at this meeting. The other thing you can do is if they do hand it in 21 days ahead of time, and you review it, like the secretary or the chair reviews it and looks like it looks pretty complete, so it's very likely this is gonna be marked as complete, you can post to have the public hearing on the same night as you're gonna accept it.
Gotcha.
So we've done that. Actually, we've done that. That's like how all of them have gone. This is the first one we actually reviewed it first,
Right,
and
no,
then we're gonna do
exactly.
it.
Yes, yes.
But usually we just say, we're gonna have the public hearing, and we're gonna do it. And before the public hearing, you just do this with the board. We say, do we accept it as complete? Yes, vote, yes, check. And then you say, now I'm opening the public hearing, and now you're actually presenting the subdivision proper, or whatever it is, site plan review, boundary line adjustment, whatever. This is all in your future, Mars.
If I accept, if I choose to
You
accept.
choose to accept. It's in somebody's future.
That's right.
It's a good opportunity for everyone to learn how to do it. So, when it comes time to do the mailings, if anyone would like to learn how that goes, I would be glad to do that concurrently. Anybody that wants to.
Well, I mean, email me, and if I'm here, you know, I'm here, like, in the June 1st, yeah. So maybe I can go
Yeah, definitely
the
before
day
then.
before to Boston, because I don't want to drive at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, definitely before then.
Mhm.
I'll send an email to everybody.
Yeah,
when
okay.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, other agenda is working on ordinance stuff. Does anyone have anything for ordinance stuff?
I don't, the person who is charged of the records in here, I mean, the woman, she's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the name.
Oh, Lorelei.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, she asked me that if I get it, email it to her, yeah.
Okay.
Then I do that, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else, anything? All right. Any motions?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Yes.
There's nothing from
Yeah, select board report.
Gee, it's been so long since we've met. No, not really.
Okay.
I will second the motion
Yeah.
to adjourn.
All those in favor?
All right.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.